at ease. How's it going, everyone? I am your trooper, Big Lou, and welcome to At Ease. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you link up with me on all social media platforms. If you are Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, Coast Guard, Reserve, National Guard, it does not matter. If you're a veteran, make sure you reach out to me. I'm trying to start a community where we give positive and crazy and wild and funny stories. Where we share these stories so that we can help all of our brothers in arms that are dealing with PTSD, are dealing with the transition from military life to civilian life. So they can have something positive, something funny, something they can laugh, something that can bring good joy to them. So if you got a story, make sure you email me at both email addresses if you can, and I will get back with you. And I want you to share your story so that we can develop a community for our brothers and sisters in arms. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all, and I salute all of my veterans, and I thank you for your services. All right. Now, today's episode of At Ease, we're going to call this episode A Love Story in Hohenfels. It's a love story in Hohenfels. This is circa 1991. It was August. It was fall. It was starting. It was summer and fall. Never got too hot over there. Actually, the weather was excellent during the summertime. It's just the winters that were terrible. But I'm from the South, so anything cold, I had to get adjusted to. But we're Hohenfels, Germany, August 1991. Me and a couple of friends of mine, we decide, we're going to go out, have some fun, get away from the base, clear our minds. So we all go out to Nuremberg. We took a trip back to Nuremberg, to the airport. If you want to know about all of that, just tune in to the last episode. I have a funny episode about, my experiences there. But that's where I met her. I'm not gonna, put her name out there. Like it doesn't matter now. It's been 30 years, but that's irrelevant. I'm not gonna put her name out there. We're just gonna call her Honey. So I met Honey. Dang, I made a name up and made a name up and messed it up already, but don't worry about that. Um, I met Honey at the club airport, Nuremberg, Germany. Me and a couple of friends of mine, you know, we all from different regions, but we were all rap. We all was hip hop guys. So what we would do is on the weekends, we during the week we'd form a routine, make music, make songs. We'd have a whole routine set up, and then on the weekends we would go to the airport, and sometimes we would perform, the stuff that we did, in the barracks, just BSing around, but everybody loved it. Like, we were real legit rappers, so we just kept it up. We kept doing it, to entertain the people, and That's how I met her. So I'm up there doing my thing. I get off stage and she's sitting over, she's got a crew of friends with her. She's sitting over there. She's drinking a drink or whatever. And she's looking at me, So, of course, I'm in Mac mode now because I see that she's got an eye on me. So I'm like, boom, let's get after it. So now I'm in Mac mode. So, you know, we're doing a small talk thing, getting to know each other. She's telling me a little about her, I'm telling her a little bit about me. You know what I'm saying? We go out, dance, all the regular stuff you do. So she gave me her number. It was like 25 numbers, because it's Germany, so the number, phone numbers are very long. But anyway, she gives me her number. I call her up. We go out. So we continue this thing. We go out a couple of times, we become good friends, and then, we start dating and everything. So we dated for I say about a month. For about a month, we dated, without her me meeting anybody or anything, because you had to fill them out. So once it was like, okay, this is gonna work out. This cool. She's cool chick. You know, she thinks I'm a cool guy. She speaks excellent English, which was a plus for me because I had zero uh, German dialogue. I tried. I learned a little bit over there, but I had zero German dialogue, so she always spoke in English. That was cool. Now, now it gets to the point where we've been dating, and now it's time to meet her folks. So if she invites me to meet, I want you to meet my mom and my dad. It's like, okay, cool. So go meet mom and dad. Mom, ex model, she's German. Ex model now, she's a business consultant, and she did a little fashion. So her mom's, very, very, very successful person that travels to all of the big cities to do her thing. Her father was African, um, and he was also retired from what he did. He never got into particularly his business. He was a very stern guy, very direct guy. He was about his business, so he didn't conversate about what he did. I just know that he was successful. Now, I go and meet her. I mean, I didn't go meet her. I go with her to meet her parents and everything. I won the mother over real quick. Won her over real quick. Because I got to get the gab. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper, so I know etiquette, and I know how to turn on the charm and turn it off. So that was cool. But it was her father, you know. We had the whole deal. We had to sit down, hey, I know you are from America. Now, before I get started talking like this guy, I just want to tell all of my African brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and old heads, look, I apologize if I hope not to offend you with this accent. But to make the story grow or to get a gist of what's going on in the story, you have to talk like him. So do not get offended. This is my best version of talking like her father for the sake of entertainment in the story. Okay. So the father, very stern. He had a mean mug all the time. It was strictly business, mean mugging. I understand that you are from America and you are a soldier for America. I understand that. But I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are. I want to know about your family. I want to know about your family's history. I need to know these things so that I know that you are good enough to date my daughter. Okay. So, I tell him my story and everything. And yes, yes, your father, he is like me a lot. He is very stern and he has raised a disciplined son. But still, I need to know about you before you get serious with my daughter. I don't know why they point with a knuckle, but he was pointing at me with his knuckle. I guess he thought it was disrespect to point with his finger, so he pointed with his knuckle. Didn't make a big thing out of it. So we go back and forth, and I finally earn his trust. So as we progress in our relationship, this is when I meet the sons. Her father had six sons, six sons. Three were in school, educated, you know, business savvy, little bougie. bougie for me, you know. Not bougie for me at the time, at the, you know, in the at the age bracket I was in, they was a little, you know, a little bougie. You know, they was about, you know, they were tech guys, they went to school, dressed real nice all of the time, well groomed, really sophisticated, you know, look, you know, up with the nose, looking down through their glasses or look down, you know, they look down on the ones that were street guys. Now, it's funny because three of the brothers in school, business savvy, you know, very bougie, intelligent, those things. They were cool. Then she had her other three brothers that were totally opposite. These were the street guys. These were the guys that was in the street. Whatever the hell was going on with the streets, they was with it. If it was the shits, they was in it, but it started. You know, they hung out all the time. They drove nice cars. Real well off family. The family was well off. They weren't hurting for anything. You know, they all drove nice cars. Each one of them had their own car. You know, you had three brothers that were a little older, you know, than us. And then you had the three brothers, the gutter boys is what I'll call them. They was about my age, and one of them was younger than us, or younger than me, rather. So I hung out with both sets of brothers. They really didn't hang with each other. They did family things, you know, uh when there was family events, they'd all come together, you know, and whatever issues they had with each other, you know, they would lay that to the side for the sake of pops and moms, you know, to make everything go smooth. Um the educated brothers were mad that the hood, you know, that the hood brothers wouldn't step up to where they were. And the hood brothers was like, well, they done got bougie and, you know, they got a little money in their pockets, you know, and they selling out. You know, we gutter. We come from, you know, the mud from where dad got his start from. You know, we carrying that tradition on. You know, those are the pretty boys, the bougie boys. You know, we don't mess with them. They are the pretty boys. They wear their pretty clothes, drink their pretty wine, drive their pretty cars, their pretty little clothes. They're all bougie. They should be women. That's Don't take offense to that. That's just this is what the good boys would always say about them. And then you know the bougie boys would say, do not hang out with them. They are nothing but trouble. They are mess. Hang out with us. You know, we hang out sophisticated crowds, nice people. We dress nice, nice events. You know, you hang out with us. So as we were dating, you know, and like I said, we both, for the sake of love for all the brothers, and we pick a weekend where we would go out with the bougie boys, and then the next weekend we go out with the gutter boys. Well, you know, we would always go to these it was like we would travel, you know, Nuremberg, we would go to Munich, Frankfurt, you know, the big cities, you know, because they would be doing their business, going to business parties, and there's just big bougie parties with people, you know, and they're just, you know, pumping their chest if they will, you know. But it was business meetings and it was very upscale, you know, events that we went to. So we had to dress, you know, we put our suit on or whatever, you know. I had to put a suit on. She dressed real nice or whatever. And we would go to these nice little functions, wine, cheese, champagne, you know, those type of things, which was okay. I enjoyed it, you know, to see, you know, see it in that environment, you know, and, you know, to learn some culture. They told me a lot about African culture and, you know, the bougie side of African culture and the business side of African culture and how to network and, you know, things of that nature. And I soaked all of that in, you know, and they like me a lot because I fit right in, you know, I fit in with both sides. But, you know, they both had love for me because, you know, I took care of their sister and made sure she was safe and she was, you know, we loved each other to death. And it was very fun. It was very fun. I'm not gonna lie, even though it was a little bit too bougie for me, because I was a hip hop head at the time, so it was a little bit too bougie. But I did that out of respect, and it opened doors for me to a different side of black excellence that I didn't know. This was way back in the 90s. And there was a lot of rich African American people there and African for that sake. So it opened the doors to like, okay, now I'm getting a little bit of, of global networking with these guys. So those were nice. But on the weekends, we went out with the gutter boys. That's where the fun was. Because with the gutter boys, we go to the clubs, we go to the night spots, the holes in the walls, some shit might go down clubs. Those were the clubs that like because I'm a trooper, so I'm with the shits. So we would go out with those guys and we would have fun. They would get me to rap, they would talk to the DJ. The DJ will put an instrumental on. I go up there, freestyle, do my thing, had a crowd going crazy. They loved me to death. So we were in the club, we were chilling, me, my girl, and my three bros, right? So I get up to go to the bathroom, I'm walking out, and the club's packed. Everybody's shaking my hand. They love the performance I had. So I headed to the bathroom, and this guy, he was drunk. He was drunk, mind you. He was walking, I was walking toward him. He was walking toward me, and he bumps my shoulder. Not on purpose. He did on accident. He was drunk. He wasn't quite all the way there. He was trying to hold it together, and he bumped it to me. So, I grabbed him before he fell, and I was like, "You all right, dude?" And he was discombobulated and drunk. But my bro, I can't say these, I don't say names to protect the guilty. Okay. Right. So my bro, my African bro, the youngest one, mind you, he sees what's going on. And I guess he thought we had an altercation because we bumped into each other. Then he saw me grab him. He runs up and grabs the dude. Um, I know everybody's seen the Matrix. The Matrix, the second one, Reloaded. Do y'all remember the twins? Do you know the twins with the white suits on and with the dreads? And y'all remember the one with the big ass butter knife, the big ass butterfly knife, the one that you know what I'm saying, the one that you flip. This motherfucker flipped the butterfly knife right up under his neck. I swear to y'all, the fucking blade was about zoom background, y'all. About that long. Blade was about that long. Is this guy messing with you, brother? Are you okay, brother? Is it? I was like, no, 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 no. No, he's good. He's good. He's drunk. He just bumped into me, man. I was just holding him up so he wouldn't fall. He's good. Are you sure, brother? Are you sure this man okay? This motherfucker was so drunk, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. This motherfucker running over, leaning and shit, and you got this motherfucker got you by your neck. He grabs you, and he's got a butterfly knife blade to your neck. He's asking me, "Am I okay?" I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that. He's good, he's good. Are you sure, brother? I will take care of him. I will take care of him for you. Are you sure you're okay?" I said, "It's fine. He's drunk. He just bumped into me and I grabbed him so he wouldn't fall." It's like, okay, so he knocked my head off. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Got to put my head back on. Too excited. I get excited when I tell these stories, y'all. Y'all don't understand. So now I'm fuck it up for the Zoom. But we're gonna get through it. Let me fix this hat. I ain't pausing or nothing. I'm gonna let y'all see all this shit because this is at ease, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do that. We'll put this hat on real quick. All right, y'all just bear with me. We're gonna get it right. I'm leaving all this shit in. I can't afford to start over. I'm too deep into the story, and then I'll forget, and then it'll be a whole different story. It won't be as funny. Okay, we're back. Uh, and before I continue on, shout out to Rude Boys Artworks. I'm gonna put the mic down so y'all can see this shit real quick. All right. Shout out to Rude Boy Artworks for the gear. Make sure you go to Rude Boys Artworks and get yourself some of that gear. I mean, he's got a new print out I'm gonna show y'all pictures of that. And y'all make sure y'all go get some Rude Boy right again. I'm gonna put the mic down again so y'all can see this is one of their sweaters that I love. And this is probably be the one y'all see the most while I'm doing at ease. But make sure you go to Rude Boy Artworks. They do everything. Airbrushing. He designs clothes, he makes clothes. They also have an artworks class. So if you're local here, you know, I have their address right here. Make sure you go and get some love. Follow them on all social media platforms. I got that down here too. So make sure you go to Rude Boy Artworks, get some gear. Love those guys. That's my family. Thank you very much. Okay. So after that, when I told him everything was cool, he flipped it back in, put it back in. I bought the dude a drink. We don't want no polar side. We don't want no polar side incidents. So I bought him a drink. I bought him another drink. Yes. He was already drunk and fucked up. And I bought him another drink. It's the 90s, y'all. Get out of there. Yeah, I had to buy him a drink. He almost got unalive that night. So I had to buy him a drink. But he was cool. We were cool. So after that, everything was cool after that. We went back to hanging out and everything. And yeah, he came close to getting cut up. So after we leave the club, now it's time to go get something to eat. Mind you, we've all are sloshed, except for my lady. We're all slushed. We're sloshed, drunk. So she stops by this pub that was open and they served food there too. So we went in there and got us something to eat. And middle brother, he they would never call me by my name. They never, maybe once or twice they called me by my name. I was always brother. I was always brother. So he's like, brother, I have an opportunity for you. You seem like to be a good person and you take care of my sister well, you know. Never touch her, never hurt her. If you hurt her, we are going to be enemies. I love you like brother. I love you, brother, like you're one of us. You are our brother now. You date my sister, that make you my brother. If you ever break her heart or bring any harm to her, I will slash your neck. Told me that straight up. I love you, but I will slice your neck if you hurt my daughter, if you hurt my sister. I said daughter like dad. But, there was the dad in him. So he said, if you ever hurt her, I will slice you. I slice you. I love you. You are my brother now. And it would deeply hurt me. It would deeply hurt her. It would hurt my brother, and it would disappoint my father. And I cannot let you live if you do that to us. And I was like, and I was like, well, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I love you guys like you're my brothers. You're my brothers while I'm overseas. So, you know, all the love I have for her is the love that I have for you guys. And everything was cool. Everything was cool after that, you know. So after a couple of times with the Bougie Brothers, a couple of times with the Ghetto Brothers, we went to this one club. It was called it was called the Fly Club. It's called the Fly Club. It was a club, where you could smoke, do it, of whatever enhancement. It's funny how I cover up some words, but I cuss. I'm a veteran. I'm gonna cuss. That's language. That's part of our language. There's a veteran language where we use a lot of colorful adjectives. But anyway, yeah, the Fly. We was at this club called the Fly. This is where all of the fucking hoodlums hung out at. You know, everybody that had some street shit going on, they hung out there. And the Gutter Boys, that was their spot. So they got me a gig there where and sometimes me and my homeboys, when they wanted to go, a couple of my homeboys, they was like, it's too much going on. Too much going on for me to be here. So they wouldn't go but me and my boy Steele, who was from Miami, Florida, me and Steele, we would always go because Steele used to date Love's friend, my girl. He used to date her friend. So me and Steel, we would do all this. Shout out to you, Steel. You're a real one, bro. Big ups, big ups. But yeah. So me and Steve would go, we do our, we make up a rap song and shit. We'll go do the song, get all the praise, the glory, and everything. And brothers, brothers like, yeah, this is our brother. This is our brother right here. And bragging, boasting and bragging and yelling and shit. We drinking everything. We're having a good time. So one of their rivals, one of the motherfuckers they don't fuck with, they came and they walked by, and for some reason that's a sign of disrespect. When I guess when a guy walks by your table and he's looking at, we're sitting there, it's me, Love, Still, his girl, three brothers and the chicks that they with. All of us are at this one round, a round table. We VIP, we chilling. So I guess they rival are a motherfucker they don't fuck with. They come, walk by, and and one of them look at little middle brother that's is gonna off me if I fuck over his sister, right? So he walks by him, does the tooth, the tooth suck while he's looking at him, and then he walks by. Nothing said. That was the only thing, And it's crazy because shit played like a movie. It's like this motherfucker was walking by in slow motion, and when he looked over at him, turned over, looked at him, did that, and kept going. Just like in the movies, you know what I'm saying? He just laughed at him, and it's like, he's a piece of shit. He don't, he ain't nothing. So we get ready to leave, and the homeboy that, that walked by us at the VIP booth, he was waiting outside, him and his boys. So we go outside, they're talking I guess African and little German, little African mix. I think it was all African because it was, I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying, but from me trying to, knowing situations like that, I'm pretty sure they was, back and forth with each other, and it was coming to tense moment, it got heated. So people started coming up, the other two brothers go. Me and Steel gotta go. You know what I'm saying? We gotta represent, put the curve, I told Love, hey, look, you and and your friend, y'all go to the car. I'm gonna go get your brothers so we can, so we can get out of here peacefully and we don't have to deal with the police side. So we walk over there, and so the other guy, Chief Suck, I'll just call him that. Chief Suck, his crew, now they walk over. So now you got like 8 motherfuckers in the middle of the street, right? And they're going at it in German or whatever the fuck it was, but it was escalating. It's escalating. So Lil bruh, he was like, yo, fuck all this shit. Lil bruh, he runs up, ow, ow, hits one of the other dudes, hit him twice, pow, pow, he falls to the ground. Then it was on after that. It just went to fight. We scrapping. Everybody scrapping. Right in front of the fuck club. We getting after it. People screaming and shit. You know what I'm saying? Bro, whips out his butter knife. Butter knife. I keep calling it a butter knife. And this motherfucking knife was nothing like a butter knife, fam. This was sharp ass knife. So he flip out his butterfly knife, get slicing motherfuckers. Now the polar side come. I get a few leaks in, I bop a dude up, still bop a dude up. I did get hit in the back of the head. Don't know with what, but it hit me. It stunned me. It didn't, you know what I'm saying? It left a knot after the fact. But when I got hit, I guess the adrenaline, and I really didn't feel it. I know I got hit, but I didn't know what with what. Didn't feel the adrenaline. So I turned around, bing bop, mix him up real quick and put him to sleep. Then I go to the guy that still fight. We put his ass to sleep. And big brother, this is the oldest. Big brother pulls out his piece in the air. Everybody take off running shit, rerunning. We grab his mother. I don't even know where the fuck he got this motherfucking gun from. We were all just fighting. like a fucking Beat It video. You know what I'm saying? With the knife and shit. You know, everybody was hand fist fighting and shit like that. But I guess when the butterfly knife came out and the slicing got to going on, the other guys went to go get some shit. Big brother was not playing. He got shit out the motherfucking car and just he wasn't shooting at nobody. He just shot in the air to just let a motherfucker know what was coming. Now it come the police side. And you know how they roll. Came up, AK-47s drawn, had us on the motherfucking knees, everybody. Nobody escaped. Nobody. All of us on the ground, fucking German shepherds barking and shit. We got AK-47s pointed at our head. They yelling at us in German. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but for me having to deal with officers of the law, I'm pretty sure they were saying get on the ground while we were already on the ground, but just in German. So they take us in, take us to jail. We were there for 30 minutes. Father comes, everything's all good. No worries. We even got an apology from the police side. To this day, I learned what he did. I care not share it on this platform. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. He had an interesting uh career. We'll just put it that way. Global. He was a global businessman. Okay. We was out. Got us out. No problems at all. No problems at all. And then the next day, you know, Neil and I went over to see Love and her friend, and the father came up to us and he was like, "You are now, you two are now." Okay, got the hit that the point, the finger. "You two are now my sons. You are my honorary sons because you fought with my sons and made sure they all came home alive, and you took care of my daughter. You are now my son. From here on out, you are family." And I was like, "Yeah." So I was family. I was made family. Um, After that, because I held it down, I just did what you should, what you should do, you know. But yeah. So we, no issues. Got there, gained the trust of the father. Gutter boys love me. Gutter boys love me because I'm with that shit. Back then, back then I thought I was a hardcore motherfucker because, I had a little put up on me. I'm in the army, I'm overseas in Germany. I'm you know, living the life, and I am pursuing my military career just like my father before me, right? So I'm that dude now. And now I'm accepted by the family. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm accepted by the family. The relationship is going well. The other boys are loving it. Me and Steele got we doing music. We're selling uh CDs and shit locally there. We're making our little francs and everything, making our German money. We converting it. Everything is going great. Then it got close to time for me to leave. And that's going to be part two. A love story in Hohenfels. That's the name of this series. And part two, it's gonna we're gonna get into having to make a decision. Okay, so that's gonna be it today, y'all. Um, I don't know. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If if it's entertaining to you, let me know. Get in the comments, let me know. Um, this was a long time ago, and sometimes I have to sit and and think and chill and reminisce on that time so I can get, so that I can remember all of the things now. Um, it was, it was a good thing. We had a good thing. We really did. But now I'm getting into part two, and I don't want to do that right now. I'll leave that for part two. I'll leave that for part two. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to At Ease to this episode, Love Story in Hohenfels. And the only reason why I say it's a love story in Hohenfels is because that's where they lived. They lived in Hohenfels, Germany. And but we went, and because you can see in the background, Hohenfels is, there's, there's not a lot of bright lights and nightlife there. It's very old school. So we would go to the Munichs and to the Frankfurts and to Nuremberg and Baumholder and all those places and have our fun or what have you. And also some escapades as well. But I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, should I just make a series about all of the stuff that I got into with the ghetto with Gutter Brothers, Gutter Bros. Let me know. Tell me in the comments, and then I'll tell some more. You know, I'll tell you about some more stuff we got into with Gutter Brothers. But for now, we're going to talk this love story. I know I didn't talk too much about love, but it is a love story because I earned the love of the mother, the father, and the bros. And I love her love as well. And I'm going to get more into our story on the next part. Part two. Part two, I will get into more about me and love, and I will wrap up with and I will get into some more stories about brothers as well. I'm going to tie it both in because they really both tie in. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, share, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms. Get at me and my email if you have an exciting story to tell of your times in the military. Wild, crazy, funny. Prefer funny and wild and crazy. We want to give these guys something to laugh at. So it's my due diligence to support all my veterans and everyone, you know. But like I said, thanks for tuning in to At Ease. I'm Trooper Big Lou. Peace, love, and I salute to all my veterans, comrades in arms, active duty, National Guard, Reserve. It does not matter. Police, firemen, EMS, social worker, construction worker, garbage worker. It doesn't matter what you do, retail sales. We're all veterans when it comes to life. So, all the veterans of life, I salute you. Thank you for your services and at ease. See you next time. Peace.